Gonna be another video where everyone asks if my neck is okay, Zaz. Good morning, Reptilians. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. So this week we are doing another bearded dragon video, but it's been quite a while since we've done one of these and you guys seem to really like the bearded dragon videos, so let's do one. So we've talked about all kinds of bearded dragon things, but we've never talked solely about bearded dragon stress and bearded dragon stress signs and how to tell if your bearded dragon is stressed out. It's very important to know these signs because these are the signs that are going to tell you if something is wrong. If you do think something might be wrong and you need more information, then check out my bearded dragon playlist and you can find all of those videos. Before we get started, this video is sponsored by the Doobia Dude, so make sure to stay until the end of the video to find out how you can save 10% off of your entire order at thedoobiadude.com. Let's get started. The first sign of stress is very specific to these guys and it's very obvious when it happens, and that is the black beard. Bearded dragons have the very special ability to take those beards that they already can extend if they're feeling a little feisty, and those beards can turn black. There are different levels of this black beard. Sometimes if it is just very lightly black, especially if they are under the sun, that can be normal. It can just be them soaking up more sun rays. But if it is solid black, that's normally an indicator of severe stress, and you need to figure out what is going on in that tank or with that bearded dragon that is causing them that much stress. A lot of times this is going to be a very big thing that happens if your bearded dragon is in a tank where they can see another bearded dragon. This is one of their I don't like that bearded dragon over there, or I really need to get to that bearded dragon over there, I'm stressed out signs. But if there are no other bearded dragons around, it's going to require some investigating. Stress lines. This is another super cool ability that bearded dragons have that literally tells you, hey, I'm stressed out. Stress lines appear at the bottom of a bearded dragon's belly, and they appear as little wavy lines. Some bearded dragons kind of always have these, and if they're stressed out, they just get a lot darker, whereas other bearded dragons seem to not really have any at all, and they just pop out when they're stressed out. These are another thing like the black beard that can show up a little bit when they are darkening to soak up the sun, but this isn't something that you should see really dark all the time on your bearded dragon. This is actually something that you will see very often on almost all of the bearded dragons at chain pet stores, especially if they're being kept in really tiny enclosures where there are a whole lot of them in there. You'll see those stress lines and you will see them very well. So if you feel like your bearded dragon is stressed out, make sure to check their belly. Just like a lot of other reptiles, bearded dragons have the ability to get darker and lighter depending on their moods. So usually a bearded dragon that is super light colored means that they are calm and relaxed, and this is usually how they will appear when they're sleeping or right after Zaz gets out of a bath. This is how she looks. Then they can darken themselves if they are stressed out or if they're just soaking up extra sun rays. And as previously mentioning, that darkening of the entire body can also lead to a slight darkening of the beard and stress lines. So basically, if they are darkening up while they have just woken up in the morning and they're basking, it's probably nothing to worry about. But if they are darkening up their bodies and showing some of these next stress signs that we're going to talk about, then you should definitely start trying to figure out what's going on with your beardie. First is glass surfing. Glass surfing is exactly what it sounds like, and it is when your bearded dragon is surfing across the glass. They are running back and forth and scraping at and clawing at the glass. Sometimes they will even peck their noses at the glass as they run back and forth. This one is not very hard to miss. When Zaz does this, I can hear her all the way from another room in my house because she does it so loudly and so aggressively. This is them literally trying to get your attention or trying to get out of that tank. This is the one that Zaz will actually do the most. She will do this if I haven't given her a salad fast enough in the morning, or if she sees a fly close to her tank or a runaway cricket near her tank, or if I move her tank to another part of the room, and especially every single day when she needs to poop, she will glass surf because she does not want to poop in her tank. So I don't make her poop in her tank, I take her to the sink and fill it full of water, and that's where she goes. This is her go-to way of telling me that something is wrong in her tank. They can also do this for several other reasons as well, like if you add something new to their tank, or if they are sick, or if they are gravid, or if you just move things around in their tank, sometimes it triggers them to do this. attitude changes. This is a big one, and it's exactly what it sounds like. If your bearded dragon is calm and peaceful and doesn't mind being handled and doesn't mind you holding them and picking them up, and then one day you go into that tank to pick up your bearded dragon and they are huffing at you or throwing their beard out at you or running from you and hiding, any kind of drastic change like that should tell you that something is going on and something is wrong. Now, this doesn't apply if you just brought your dragon home and the day that you bring them home, they're super nice, they are eating, they are letting you hold them, everything's okay, and then the very next day they're hiding and running. That is pretty normal for bearded dragons. Once they realize that they are settling into a new place, they kind of go into panic mode. That's relatively normal. But if your bearded dragon has a certain personality type and then the next day they are completely different, that is a big red flag. Not eating. This is another huge one to pay attention to with bearded dragons, because generally bearded dragons are very good eaters, and if your bearded dragon just completely stops eating, then that could be a cause for concern. Now, we're not talking about baby bearded dragons who'll only eat bugs and not eat salads, or even some adult bearded dragons who refuse to eat their salads but are still eating bugs. We are talking about your bearded dragon flat out not wanting to eat anything. I did talk about in my Your Bearded Dragon's First Week Home video about how it's normal for them not to eat the first 2 or 3 days after you bring them home, and that is a stress response of them changing environments. So in that situation, you don't need to worry about it. Yes, they're stressed out, but they should settle in and eat very soon. Any other time, if your bearded dragon stops eating, and especially if they are losing weight while they are not eating, then something is wrong. Usually what this means is that your bearded dragon has some sort of illness, usually parasites, or that something is wrong in their tank. Usually it's the temperatures. If you are not using a temperature gun to measure that temperature, or even a thermometer on the basking spot itself, you're not getting an accurate read of the temperature. If you're just using a stuck on wall thermometer, that thermometer could show a difference of up to 20 degrees lower than what's actually on the basking spot. So if your bearded dragon cannot thermoregulate correctly, that means they can't digest their food correctly, which means they're going to stop eating. Again, that is another big stress sign. Or for adult bearded dragons, if it is winter time or if it has gotten cold suddenly around your house, then this could be an indicator of brumation, or the hibernation-like state that bearded dragons go into in the winter. And I have a video all about that, and I'll leave it here if you need more information about bearded dragon brumation. If your bearded dragon has stopped eating and they are losing weight, then you need to take them to the vet immediately so that they can be evaluated and treated properly for whatever is going on with them. Sleeping or hiding more. This is another big indication of illness. Just like if we as humans get the flu, we kind of just want to stay in bed and sleep and hide all day. It's the same with bearded dragons. They just want to sleep and hide until they feel better. Usually this is going to go right on along with them not eating and having those stress lines. However, you also need to keep in mind that this is another big indication of brumation. So pay attention to what season it is and if the temperatures in your house have dropped any, and if your bearded dragon is an adult. If it is not wintertime in your area and your bearded dragon is sleeping all day and they have stopped eating and have stress lines, please take them to the vet. And the last one that we're going to talk about is digging at the floor. If you have substrates like tile or reptile carpet or paper towels, anything like that, and you notice your adult female bearded dragon is nonstop digging at the floor, this could be a sign that she is gravid and she's stressed out because she has nowhere to lay her eggs. Bearded dragons have to have a place to lay their eggs, or they'll kind of just hold them in and become egg bound, and then those eggs have to be surgically removed. If you notice that your, again, adult female bearded dragon is constantly digging at the floor or digging in a corner of their tank, make her a dig box and see if this helps. Most of the time people make these dig boxes out of something like a Sterilite bin, a plastic shoebox, and a very thick layer of a mixture of usually topsoil and play sand or cocoa fiber and play sand. Just make sure it's moistened, not sopping wet, just enough so it'll pack down so that it'll give them a surface to dig in, and see if that helps. If they go in there and start digging, you probably just saved your bearded dragon a lot of stress and yourself a lot of money not having to get surgery getting calcified eggs removed. But that is all I have for this video. I just wanted to make a quick video going over all of the signs of stress for bearded dragons for new bearded dragon owners who may not know what's going on or if their bearded dragon is stressed out. As always, I probably forgot some, so if I forgot any signs of stress, leave them down in the comments below because it will probably help out a new bearded dragon owner. Again, if your bearded dragon is displaying these signs and you are concerned, please take them to the vet so that a professional can look at them and let you know if something is going on. As I said at the beginning of this video is sponsored by the Dubia Dude. I have enjoyed working with the Dubia Dude so much. They are such a fantastic company and such a wonderful place to get dubia roaches or your reptiles like bearded dragons. Dubia roaches are super nutritious. I like them a lot better than crickets because they don't stink and they don't make noise and they're just easier to deal with. Dubia roaches are also a whole lot more filling than things like crickets. A really cool thing about the dubiadude.com is that they are super environmentally friendly. He aims to reduce, reuse, and recycle by reusing things like plastic water bottles to ship these guys in instead of just throwing them out, and then they can be recycled afterwards. He also feeds those dubia roaches all organic, so you know you are getting the absolute healthiest bugs for your reptiles, which makes your reptiles super healthy. If you are in an area where dubia roaches are legal, make sure to use my code Elle at thedubiadude.com when you place that order, and you'll get 10% off of your entire order. Thank you so much to the Dubia Dude for sponsoring this video. As always, if you have not already, please feel free to follow me on my other socials and like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications every single time I put out a new video, which is every Sunday and some Wednesdays. I promise Wednesdays are gonna happen eventually. Thank you so much to Mrs. Carly Williams for following me on Instagram and going through and liking a whole bunch of my stuff. And the subscriber shout out goes to Supreme Gecko for commenting on last week's video and being super supportive for such a long time and sending me those awesome isopods last week. Thank you guys both so much. You are the bee's knees. Thank you guys so much for watching and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye. Just trying to soak up that ring light. Just gonna soak up that ring light. Hold her. So actually, this ow. Before we get started, this video is sponsored by. Can you see it? This is a fail. And like previously mentioned, darkening to a little bit of a black beard, and my camera died. What season it is? So. Please don't die for the 5th time, camera. I just need to get these shout-outs. Okay, guys, this time my neck might not be okay.